I know what you're asking. Mitch, a video about E3? You know E3 was like 4 weekends ago. Yeah. And before you question why I'm making this video so late, maybe you should ask, why did everyone else make their E3 videos so early? Huh? Think about that. Okay, as far as E3 typically goes, I'm one of those people who usually doesn't give a rat's ass. 90% of the time for like the last 10 years, there's been 1 or 2 games shown that I'm interested in, and then the rest is just kinda like, I've been seeing people say E3 2019 was a bust because so little shown off was actual gameplay in games coming this year. To which I say, yes, you are absolutely right. But forgive me for a minute because a lot of stuff at E3 this year actually caught my interest and are things I'm looking forward to. Plus, a lot of people hopped aboard this ship lately and I feel they don't properly know their captain yet. So maybe this will give you an idea of other crap I like besides bitching about Mortal Kombat and flaunting my Three Kingdoms knowledge. You guys are gonna think I'm super lame, but unironically, the game I am most excited for hands down is Planet fucking Zoo. Yeah, that's right, listen. The very first Zoo Tycoon is one of my favorite games of all time. I played Zoo Tycoon Complete Collection so much, I didn't even know Zoo Tycoon 2 even existed until like 5 years ago. I was too busy loving the first game, I didn't even know the sequel existed, I didn't need the sequel. So why am I excited for Planet Zoo? Well, for 2 reasons. First, Planet Zoo is made by the same people who made Planet Coaster, which I also liked. And you can probably guess I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon too. The second reason is because from the gameplay they have shown off, it looks like it's going to be an actual business management kind of game requiring strategy and a knowledge of economics and not be a dumb Connect game where you pet animals. So that's nice. Oh wait, those are the same people? Oh, fuck me. Anyway, you might see Planet Zoo on this channel, or my second channel I only sometimes update. You might not. We'll see how that goes. The other immediately eye-catching game for me was the announcement of Baldur's Gate 3. Even most people old to my channel might not know, but I'm a huge tabletop nerd who especially loves Dungeons & Dragons. I also love RPGs of almost any kind, and I really enjoyed Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Though I prefer Neverwinter Nights 2 and Icewind Dale because they use the 3.5 edition of D&D rules, which is the version of the game I'm most familiar with and played the most. So Baldur's Gate 3 was just a CGI trailer, but there's a few details they did release about it, which has me looking forward to it. Obviously, it's also made by Larian, who made Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. I enjoyed the first game, haven't gotten around to playing the second game yet, but those games are pretty quality for the most part. Baldur's Gate 3 itself is supposed to be very much in vein of the past D&D games, where the rules of the current edition of Dungeons & Dragons, 5th edition in this case, are transferred directly into a semi-real-time tactical RPG. Plus, as someone who's often the dedicated dungeon master of their group, it's so rare I get the chance to actually roleplay for my own character, it's gonna be a welcome break. So you are probably gonna see more Baldur's Gate stuff on this channel in the future, as well as more tabletop stuff too, when I get around to it. Speaking of RPGs, Final Fantasy VII Remake actually exists as a real video game. I know, right? Final Fantasy is a series I once loved and now love to hate. The modern series is completely unrecognizable to me at this point, and in an extra sense of irony, the one game I probably like, Final Fantasy XIV, doesn't appeal to me because I don't like MMOs. Now with Final Fantasy VII Remake, there's a lot we could talk about. Everything from all the stuff they're adding, to them potentially missing the point of the original game, to them nerfing Tifa's titties, but if I can boil it all down to one thing I want to address at this point, it's the combat system in the remake that has my interest. If you don't know, it's a hybrid of the hack and slash style of Final Fantasy XV and Kingdom Hearts while still retaining elements of the old active time battle system of the original Final Fantasy VII. Personally, I think it looks genius, but might be too good to be true. The whole thing is gonna boil down to the difficulty. If you actually have to be strategic and make proper use of the system, it should be pretty fun. But if you can just mash your way through everything and pop your hotkeyed specials every so often like a weak-ass version of Dota, it's gonna be pretty lame. And also before you ask, Final Fantasy VII is not my favorite Final Fantasy and is not even in my top 3. But I like Final Fantasy VII and its story and characters, so you can at least expect a review when this game comes out, if not an LP on my second channel. Okay, so those were the big three for me, but we're gonna pick up speed now, so stay with me. Star Wars looks pretty fun. I hope it doesn't suck as much as the current film series. EA is probably gonna fuck it up somehow with their totally ethical surprise mechanics, but still, it's got my interest. Ghostwire Tokyo didn't show me jack shit, but Akumi Nakamura's presentation was so damn genuine, it blew all the other over-rehearsed corporate pitches clean out of the water, despite the fact that she could barely speak English, so I have to be interested in her game out of pure principle. My interest in Cyberpunk 2077 moved from 0% to 1%, then got times by 70 when Keanu Reeves made his appearance because he's a guilty pleasure for me. Might play it down the line. I'm skeptical because I was not really into the Witcher games, so I only played the first one. Luigi's Mansion 3 looks great. I skipped Luigi's Mansion 2 because I didn't have a 3DS, but I heard it was trash anyway, so I guess that worked out. I'm looking forward to this one. Watch my Let's Play of the first game. Episode 2 is when it gets good. Animal Crossing looks good too. The first Animal Crossing on the GameCube is another one of my favorite games. I used to binge for hours when I was young, but I fear I don't have that kind of time in my adult life. But I'm sure I can find it if it's good enough. Breath of the Wild 2 is officially a thing. First one was great. All they need to do for me is ditch the motion control puzzles, put in more catchy music, add classic style dungeons, and have a story that's not shit this time, and I'll love it even more than the first game. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is gonna be fun by the looks of it. The Avengers game, on the other hand, just looks bizarre to me. It looks familiar but new, and I don't really know what to think of it. Oh, and can't forget about Doom Eternal. Very much looking forward to that one too. So yeah, E3 this year. It was pretty alright. What are you guys excited for?